Yes. Tony, thanks so much. I love this painting. And just, anyways, hey, thanks for showing up this morning. And wow, that was a lot. Both of you just said right now. Should have been taking notes.
So get the bill out.
I've been working really hard. I got assigned from both co-speakers, Arnie Roblin and Bruce Hanna, to be in this PSRB work group. But the piece that we have to look at is, do we build Junction City? And I was talking with both Senator and Representative this morning, if they'd mind if I use my time this morning for maybe 15 minutes or 20, and Tony's being so kind as to open up this as well. But I would love to share, kind of paint the picture where we're at right now in this work group, tell you a little bit who's on it, and then I'd like to have your input, because this week we have to make some really tough decisions where we go policy-wise and what we do. And I know I know how Sarah feels, I know how Frank feels about this, but I need to really flush this out, because that's kind of how I do things when we really have to do some serious work on policy. So if you stay with me over here, I'm going to just kind of give you a little bit of history here. First, House Bill 3100 we passed already. And basically what that does, it's a good piece of policy. A lot of work went into it. Oregon Health Authority was involved helping craft it with Department of Human Services. But the idea behind this is it opens up the front door for people who go into PSRB or into the state hospital. The idea too behind this is that open door is a kind of a screening process through the court, through the DA, as also through the defense at the time, where did we go? And it's a better process than what we've had. But once we get into this piece, we had to make a decision, what does the structure look like then once we get this open door? And that's where House Bill or Senate Bill 420 comes into the picture, and this was a piece that we've been working in this work group. Now initially, the governor had asked the Chief Justice, Paul DeMunis, to be chair of this committee, or this work group, several weeks back. And it started to get to be a really hot potato, let me tell you. And we're sensing this here right now, because the piece drives Junction City. And that's why it's become a hot potato, to the point where our Chief Justice kind of felt like maybe he should step back out of this right now. So he's not in the picture any longer. And we have Senator Floyd Przansky, along with Dr. Goldberg, that's kind of driving this right now for directing it. What's happened with 420 is two different pieces. The first piece I want to tell you is that as a result of 3100 that then places somebody into the state hospital, we chose, rather than to go straight to PSRB, Psychiatric Security Review Board, we would go through Oregon Health Authority. And then at that point, they would see they're the better fit for determining, does treatment work? Should this individual, upon the assessment here, be placed here because of the treatment issue? And then if they're not, and they're really kind of in the bad group, PSRB has to pick up here. So now, this is what we learned, and this is a piece here of Senate Bill 420 that we carved in. Last year when I was in Human Services, we learned during some testimony during the interim, and I think maybe I may have shared this once before, is that well, first of all, let me here, really quick, give you this number. There's about 630 people right now that are assigned to PSRB. 10% of those, roughly, somewhere between 5 and 10, but I'll say 10, are really bad of the bad. They're the psychopath, they're the sociopaths. There is no way treatment is ever going to impact this 10% right here. What do you do? So now all of a sudden what's happened is this facility here has become basically a correctional facility. But it's supposed to be a state hospital. That's our problem that we're dealing with right now. So what we did was we carved out a piece in Senate Bill 420 that would allow, if these certain measurements occur as a result of PSRB's review, we can place them under the authority of Department of Corrections. Now that's a different ballgame. Here's some other numbers you need to know. Your average person that's in this facility right now costs $19,000 a month. Okay, so you're talking $228,000 a year. You know, over here with Department of Corrections is $3,000. But obviously you're going to have to adjust completely different, because you can't treat them as a normal, an individual that would come out of here, you cannot treat normally here. So here's your argument as you get here. Because now we've created this carve out here, it gives more fuel to folks saying, well, more than ever now, we have to build Junction City. You following me? What's going on here? Because we are back to this theme right here of safety for the community. But at the same time, we have to do something with this 10%. I'm of the opinion there's a couple different things that we can do. And this is where I want to flush this out with you for your comments. And actually, Sarah, you shared some stuff earlier this morning would really help me too to share here as well. I like the idea of community involvement. I mean, Senator Morris and I, we visited a couple community homes over in Albany during the summer. I felt pretty comfortable with what was going on there. The Department of Corrections piece, I get that need for this, but if we're going to do that, then do it right and have somewhat of a resemblance of what we're trying to do here, down in this area,